What we're talking about is the first presidential airplane, and you've got to go back into who was president and his condition. Roosevelt was president. Public did not know he was a cripple. He was in a wheelchair, and they would always prop him up and use different ways of concealing the fact that he was a cripple. When it came to traveling by air during the war, if he'd go to a foreign country in a standard transport airplane, they would have to build a ramp so they could roll a wheelchair down out of the airplane. So we got the job of building a special presidential airplane. Being a president, you have to travel all over the world. And during World War II, he had to cross the Atlantic. Well, there were submarines out there waiting for ships, so the safest way to go was by airplane. And so the problem was, how do we get him across in an airplane and not be caught? And so that's sort of the story of why we designed the Sacred Cow. As I say, first presidential airplane, and being that it was for the president, we gave it the nickname the Sacred Cow. We designed an elevator in the back end of the fuselage, and it would go down to the ground. They would roll his wheelchair into the elevator. They'd raise it up to the cabin level, close the bottom of the airplane up, and roll him into his office. So when they got to a foreign country, there was no clue he was coming. Those ramps were clues the president was coming. And I always tell people, I was in on the design, and when it gets into the manufacturing, they always have an engineer assigned to be in the shop to take care of any technical problems that came up. So my favorite story is, as the airplane got near completion, I would be down there and have nothing to do. So I'd go up in to the cabin, go in, and break in the president's chair for him. So I keep saying, I'm the first man to sit in the first president's airplane's chair. So that's kind of my story.